welcome back to another video. So in the last episode, I promised some big shop additions, and those are here at this point right now. So a little bit of background. I've had this Snap-on Classic 78 box for many years at this point in time. It served me very well, but as you guys saw from the intro montage, maybe this drawer isn't the best example, but it certainly is disorganized. But as we move down a little bit more, you can see that I am quite out of space in my screwdriver drawer. The wrench drawer is a disaster. The pliers drawer is a disaster and kind of a hodgepodge of different things. The wiring drawer is the worst out of all of them. Sometimes it's even difficult to get this to shut. But the point being, this box has served me very well, but I have outgrown it. So late last year, I decided to finally pull the trigger on a new box. And this may not be the most exciting thing in the world for some of you, but for me, this is a huge step forward and a huge step up from the storage setup that I had before. You guys have seen many times I had smaller box to the left, Snap-on box to the right, and like I said, that did me well for a long time, but it was finally time to upgrade. And what did I choose? Well, nothing other than good old Icon from Harbor Freight. So this is the roller cabinet right here. I opted for their 73-inch. It's blue, as you can tell by the blue color right there. And behind it, we have an end locker. We have an end cabinet. And I also opted for a stainless top. I've already unboxed the stainless top, as in the process of getting everything up the driveway, the stainless top took a spill. And thankfully, it appears as though everything is in good condition still. The styrofoam that it was packed with did its job. And now I can rest easy knowing that A, that one's in good condition, and B, I don't need to buy another one to have a nice brand new top on the brand new box. So before I run my mouth anymore, let me go ahead, put you guys down, and do my best to get everything off of their respective pallets and get everything set up. This will be probably a little bit challenging, as I think the roller cabinet on the box, it was listed at 800 pounds, but so was the tire mounter. I was able to manhandle that, so hopefully I can do the same with this. setup of my new Icon box is all complete. We have the little side locker, or side cabinet rather. We have the locker. We have the stainless top on, and as you guys just saw, I went ahead and put some spray adhesive down to hold the liners in place. That is a great tip that I have for you guys. If you're getting a new box, I like to put some adhesive down because it drives me insane when these liners bunch up and get kind of all nasty and everything. One thing that I would like to do is to swap this door so that way it opens from this side as opposed from this, or as opposed to from this side. I think that will be a little bit easier and a little bit better, so that way if I'm working over on this side, I don't have to step the whole way over here to open the box up. I can just open it here and swing it out, and I think that'll be more effective. But with all of that being said, it's now time for the main event, and that is to pull tools out of the old box, put them in the new box, establish a better system of organization and a better way to do this. So without further ado, I've been waiting for this for quite a while. Let's go ahead and get to it. couple of days of organization and transferring and everything else, the new box is pretty much all set up, and the old boxes are pretty much all emptied out of everything that I was going to pull out of them. So this new box, I tried to use as many of the drawers as possible to have things be separated kind of categorically, or at least what made sense in my mind. So obviously you can see this is the spanner wrench drawer. Then underneath of it, we have adhesives and tape. Then punches and files, so on and so forth. Over on this side, we have the big drawer that is all of my ratchets and sockets and things along those lines. And there are some duplicates of these that will end up getting moved again, which we'll go over in a minute. But the couple of really cool features with this box are, if you can see on the side, the actual slider rails for heavier drawers. You can see that they have dual sliders for those. Pretty much all of the larger drawers or deeper drawers have those, as they anticipate you putting heavier items in there, obviously. But beyond that, if you look on the side here, these black bits right here are actually tension adjusters, essentially. And that is, we're adjusting them directly correlates to how difficult it is to pull the drawer out and to get it to reseat. So pretty cool feature, and it's nice that they have dual sliders on the big drawers, as you really don't want something like the socket and ratchet drawer, which is more than likely the heavier drawer in most of our toolboxes, to be supported just with one slider. So beyond that, over on this side, one of the things that really sold me on this box is it has this built-in charging drawer. So I have chargers for all of my mainly used electric tools, my DeWalt Mini Impact and drill, Milwaukee drill, my cordless Dremel, and then my electric impact. And speaking of all of those tools, directly below it, I have a drawer dedicated to all of those. So everything in here is electric minus my pneumatic impact, which I may end up moving that back to the air tool drawer, but I'm at least trying it out how it is right now. And then finally, I went ahead and I swapped the door for the side locker. So it swings out in the correct direction at this point in time. And this is kind of a hodgepodge of different things. Again, set up kind of categorically. We have a couple of oil filters, spark plugs, my nitrous and, I guess it's my nitrous box for the Mark IV, spark plugs, jets, things like that. And I stashed my tool bag up there. We have all of my zip ties and some vacuum caps, larger vacuum caps back there. Right here is just some extra gloves, AN caps, and airline, both 1/4 inch black, 1/4 inch clear, and then I have 3/8 stashed back there as well. Right here is all of my good wiring stuff. So we have all of my tools, crimper, another stripper crimper deal, another crimper, these Husky pliers that I haven't used yet, but I thought they were kind of cool. Power probe, super handy tool to have, which we'll go over this in the near future as we are wiring components into the SC. And then I went ahead and organized my Deutsch assortment. So all of these now are organized by, we have male and female 2-pin, 3-pin, 4, 6, 8, and 12. We have all of the pin locks for, these are the 2 pins, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. We have female pins right here. We have male pins right there. Go, no-go gauge, some disassembly tools, and then blank plugs. So I'm happy to finally have that organized. Underneath that, we have miscellaneous wiring stuff, just some random wires, fuses, some looming, a random section of Raychem that I had around, some 3-to-1 heat shrink here, miscellaneous heat shrink, miscellaneous terminals. Underneath of it are a bunch of just other random blow molded deals. I have vacuum connectors, although I don't use them a whole lot. They are here. Cotter pins, vacuum caps. We have brake bleeder and Zerk covers, brake bleeder fittings, self-tappers, and then P-clamps, both plastic and metal, and some nice Oetiker clamps in my Oetiker clamp pliers. And then finally, down here, we have all of my O-rings and sealing washers. So AN O-rings, metric O-rings, imperial O-rings, and some other just random assorted O-rings that I had sitting around. On the inside of the door, I have some random spray cans, spray bottles. We have Freol, my favorite penetrating lube, a couple of cans of spray adhesive, benzene for my little torch right here that I use for wiring stuff pretty frequently, some brake clean, RTV, and then my caulking gun that I use to use this RTV. And everything packages really nicely, and I'm really happy with how it came out. So one of the other things that I will be doing, I'm not sure if I'll do it on camera or off, but is organizing this. And this is something that my mom actually got me for Christmas, so good on you, Mom, for getting something that's actually really useful here. But this is it's an organizer. You could use it for whatever you'd like, and this is going to take place of this old red toolbox on top of the Snap-on box that I've used as kind of a dumping ground for miscellaneous fasteners. This is the M6 drawer, and these are all M6x1 fasteners. This is the M8 drawer, all M8 125 fasteners. This is the M10 drawer right here. These are M10 125s and M10 150s. And that system has worked fine for quite a while, but now that I have this nicer organizer, I can actually organize things a little bit more concisely and a little bit better than what I had done before. And in addition to the fasteners that are in those three drawers right there, if you look back here, those bins and all that stuff right there, those are all other fasteners that need to be organized, need a home, and this is a good place for them. I may end up getting another one of these to stack on top of it. As you can see, these little indentations, these are meant so you can stack them, and I'll have pretty much any fastener that I could ever want, ever need at my disposal, right up in my face. And by the time that all this is said and done, I can go ahead and label each one of them, and there are also separators right here. So I could have this be, for example, M6x1 nuts, and I can make a note that it's flange nuts, regular hex nuts, lock nuts, so on and so forth. Put the separators in and have those three things consolidated into one bin. So if I ever need an M6x1 nut, I'll know that I pull whatever drawer it is out. I can go and get exactly the style of nut that I need, and everything will be good to go. So that leaves the two old toolboxes still up in the air. What am I going to do with them? What's happening with them? Well, I'm not getting rid of anything, but I am going to repurpose both of them. So we'll start with the Snap-on box. And this is still a really nice box, still something that I want to keep. I have a lot of memories and a lot of history with it. But I think what this is going to be is the toolbox for that bay over there. So I'm going to end up cleaning up a little bit of space over here. And the Snap-on box can live right behind my office, kind of in this spot where you can see that I've already cleared a little bit of space out for it. That way, if I'm ever working on anything over here, I don't need to walk all the way back over to the main box to get a simple tool. I'll have a duplicate tool set made up of either excess tools that I have in the new Icon box and or tools that I buy specifically for the Snap-on box over here. I think that'll be a pretty good system, pretty effective, and pretty nice all things considered by the time everything is set up. And I'm sure at some point in the future I will thank myself for doing that, as I certainly like to get my steps in on a daily basis, but if I'm trying to be efficient and get things done here, that will help and that will aid me in doing so. And that just leaves the Yukon box. So this box I had bought semi-recently as an expansion to the Snap-on box. And prior to the Icon box being here, pretty much the entire duration of me filming things here, Snap-on box was there, Yukon box was here, and it worked out okay for a very short period of time. But in a very short period of time, I rapidly outgrew both of those things, hence why we now have the Icon box, and hence why we are repurposing the Yukon box now. So I don't need to use it as another toolbox for hand tools or anything along those lines, but where it would be extraordinarily handy is actually in the welding room. So right now, my organization for my welding tools, I obviously have pegboards, and I have my hand tools for the welding room right there, miscellaneous consumables and torch accessories right there, but I have this wire shelf that I found in the storage area above the workshop here, and it's worked out, again, okay to house my purge equipment, some other miscellaneous tooling and purge stuff, but not the best solution in the world. And as the idea came into my head to get the Icon box, the idea also came into my head of what I'm going to do with that Yukon box. And after a little bit of measuring, I've determined that this spot right here will be a really good one for that Yukon box to live, and that will provide me the opportunity to have more concise and organized storage of my TIG Aesthetics purge plugs, any spillover torch accessories and things along those lines. I can probably clear some of this bench space off, like my assortment of different weights and heavy stuff right here, some other purge stuff, things along those lines. I can move them over to that box, move some of the fixtures that I use very frequently over, and they can live on top of that box, and everything will work out very nicely that way. So with that in mind, all that I need to do is unscrew my welding table from the wall, scoot it down a little bit, scoop this box in, and we'll be squared away on that front. So that sounds easy enough. So let's go ahead and knock that out, as I really want to see what this room looks like with that box in here. With the Yukon box now in the welding room, and most importantly the Icon box all set up, I think that's a good place to leave off for this video. So it is an absolute dream come true to have something like this monstrosity of an Icon box behind me, something that I've wanted for a long time. Finally pulled the trigger on, it's finally here, and it's everything that I'd hoped it would be and more. This is going to be here and be a part of my life, hopefully for the rest of my life. And I could not be happier to have something like this here. I feel very fortunate to have the opportunity to own it, and most importantly now to have the ability to grow and continue filling up the different drawers with useful tools and things that I'll use here on a daily basis or very frequently. But with all of that being said, before I drone on forever, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. So thank you guys, as always, for coming along on all of these different journeys and all of these different adventures with me. I'm having so much fun with all the projects here, and with that being said, the materials for the Lexus fuel system, all of the plumbing components, have now arrived. So next week for you guys, and in just a few moments for me, I'm going to begin the plumbing for this car, hopefully get it knocked out in a few days, and with any luck, we'll hear the car run again at the end of the next video. So we have that to look forward to, and then a bunch of Haltech wiring. You guys saw in the last video all of the new Haltech components, the wideband module, GPS speed module, the IC7 dash, etc., etc. All of those things need to be wired in, and with any luck, all of them will function appropriately the first time, and this thing will be set up very well moving forward. But that will be then. This is now, and we're done with this episode. So as always, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, check out the website for manifolds, for merch, for all things good that way, including my new MCB collection. If you'd like an MCB hoodie, sweatshirt, bomber jacket, or shoes, those are now available, and there are more items coming in the very near future. So keep your eyes peeled for announcements about new products or new product offerings as part of the MCB collection, and if any of the items currently available speak to you, feel free to pick those up. They can be found in the link in the description below. And if none of them do speak to you, well, hopefully something that is introduced into this collection at some point in time does, or items in future collections do as well. But with all of that being said, that will be the end of this one, and I will see you guys in the next episode.